Hi, how are you, fifth graders? Welcome back to Science Class with Miss Asti. Last week we had discussed about some kind of forces such as elastic spring force and magnetic force. So today we are going to continue that. First, we will have a resistance to be discussed, but before that, I'll give you the correct answer and some explanation about your work, the textbook, page 115. So how is your experiment, guys? Which paper took a longer time to reach the floor? Yep, the second one, the paper that has been crushed. Then, why do you think that piece of paper took a longer time to reach the floor? To find the answer, listen to my explanation. In a simple definition, air resistance is a force that slows down moving objects in air. Air resistance exerts an upward force on the falling object. Resistance is present when any object passes through air regardless of directions. Air might seem so light, but how can it be strong enough? Actually, air has a mass, and it does get in the way of moving objects. There are many cases where we need air to get in the way. Parachutes rely on air colliding with the large area of the canopy. Or even sailboats depend on a force from moving air. The air doesn't carry a force simply by moving. However, when the air collides with a surface, both the air and the surface experience a force. A force from the surface acts on the air to slow it down. There is a force in the opposite directions acting on the surface. Do you know, aeroplanes and animals such as a bird have a streamlined shape. This shape helps to reduce air resistance when they fly. Back to the questions. So why do you think that piece of paper took a longer time to reach the floor? That is because the flat sheet of paper had a larger surface area that gave it greater air resistance and slowed its fall. Air resistance can also be found when you are riding a bike or driving your car. But besides of that, there is another force which also works on it. A friction. Friction occurs when two surfaces are in contact. Friction is the force which opposes motion. It always acts in the opposite directions to which the driving force operates. That is why friction causes moving objects to slow down or even stop. The amount of frictions experienced by an object depends on its materials. The rougher the surface, the greater the frictions. When you try to push a coin across the wooden table or a velvet carpet, the surface of the carpet is rougher than the table. There is more frictions when coin is moving across the carpet than when the coin is moving across the table. Why does the bicycle not go faster and faster? This happens due to frictions. There are two types of frictions hold you back when you are cycling. One type is caused by the rubbing of moving parts like the wheel and the axle, and the other is caused by the air. At the low speed, the friction is small, much smaller than the force pushing the bicycle forward, and so most of the force which you put on the pedal goes towards speeding up the bicycle. But as the bicycle speeds up, friction increases. Some effects of frictions are useful to us in our daily lives. Frictions allows us to hold objects firmly. Frictions enables us to walk. Sometimes it is useful to have more friction. For example, we place rubber mats on the bathroom floor. This increases frictions and prevents us from slipping. However, frictions can also create many problems. Frictions causes wear and tear. For example, frictions causes car tires to wear out. Cars with worn tires are more likely to slip on the road. This is very dangerous. And also frictions makes it difficult for us to move things. But there are ways in which we can reduce friction. Wheels are put on objects to help them move more easily. Tan oil can reduce the frictions between two surfaces. Most people would not question why an apple falling down from a tree. However, there is one person wondered why an apple would fall down. Yes, he is Isaac Newton. He discovered that there was a pulling force which caused the apple to fall down, and he called this pulling force as gravity. He went on further to explain that this is the same force that actually keeps the moon in orbit around the Earth and the planets in orbit around the sun. No matter where you are on Earth, you will always be pulled down. Where is down? Gravity can help us understand this. Gravity is a force that is always pulling towards the center of objects. On Earth, as a giant object with gravity, down just means towards the center. Even though our maps usually shows north as being up and south as being down, we are all getting pulled towards the same down, the center of the Earth. So, don't ever afraid of falling down from Earth. Does it interesting to learn about force, doesn't it? To end this session, I want you to write down 10 points that you got after watching this video.